A warm welcome to Joburg today. My name is Ayanda Sochisa. There seems to be miscommunication in Johannesburg whether we pay or we do not pay for using the services of the public hospital ambulances.
Community members often get a shock when they realize that the services rendered by the emergency services is not for free. Here we learn where the misunderstanding may be.
The issue of payment of the services starts with our community forums where we go out when we do our public consultations, because when we render the service within the city of Johannesburg, we are managed by a bylaw. For instance, section 97(1) of the emergency services bylaw, which talks about services being paid when we render those services out there. So the communities will have inputs, to say this is for instance, roughly how much can they be able to afford to, pay those services.
We hit the streets of Johannesburg in effort of finding out what the public thinks of the fact that they have to pay emergency services every time they render the services to them.
I do know, Hora, you need to pay for the services, especially when you call in the ambulance and the fire, whatever, engine.
Based on the fact that it should be perhaps governed state. If they were perhaps private, then you would get a situation where they charge you, they levy you for all the charges. But if it's by the government, then we're supposed to get basic needs, at our disposal.
To
save your life, you have to pay, and to be in hospital in time.
In my knowledge, usually most ambulances do not take you in unless you have medical aid. So I assume if you don't have medical aid, then it's not free.
The people in parliament, if they can start using the public places, that's how our places can be upgraded. You understand? And stop using the private places for themselves. You understand, my sister? Okay, right? Like when you call emergency services, some of them it's not free, some of them we think it's free. Like you say, you pay for it. I don't know, but I really don't think it's fair.
If you're in an emergency, clearly the state should fund it in some sort of way. So in my opinion, I think emergency services should be free.
I'm Vitumelo Pelesa for Joburg today.
Hi, I'm Rebena and you're watching Joburg Today.
Remember, guys, to follow us on Twitter at Joburg Today and like our Facebook page, joburgtoday.tv. And if you're on the go, you can check us out on pockettv.mobi. That's pocket with an I. The Sasol Solar Car Race happens every 2 years, and the race this year starts from Pretoria to Cape Town.
The Sasol Solar Challenge is a race that happens every 2 years in South Africa. It's a race of solar vehicles. Each team has to develop a solar vehicle, which then they have to travel from Pretoria down to Cape Town. It's around 2,000 kilometers that they have to do. And during the race, they can do extra loops to increase the mileage or the distance that they're doing. And at the end of the day, the winner of the challenge is the one that does the most mileage. And then there's some other things as well in terms of the fastest speed and the efficiency of harnessing the solar energy. Our involvement is with the team from the University of Johannesburg, and we are sponsoring them to participate in this in the challenge. The challenge, or the objectives of the challenge, is to raise awareness in terms of science and technology, specifically in energy efficiency and also in terms of clean mobility and transport. And for us as a business, we're involved in the technology space, so we're a supplier of electronic and electric components and other industrial components.
This was actually our first car that we built. We built it back in 2011 already. We built it as a group of undergraduates. We had to sort of finish off our degrees and do a paper design, and we thought, let's go ahead and build this thing. So this is what we came up with. It's got a top speed of about 60 k's an hour, I'll be honest, if you're lucky. It was, as we say, our first attempt, so there was a lot wrong with it. We learned a lot from it, and from it we progressed to a second vehicle. The name of the car is Ilanga. This was Ilanga 1, of course. We've moved on to Ilanga 1.1, which was sort of our interim car that we used to enter into the previous race. And now we are on to Ilanga 2, so this is our third vehicle that we're building. The reason we wanted to get involved again is because we've just learned so much from the project compared to the first vehicle, and the industry partners we get to work with, like RS Components and various other companies as well. We just learn a massive amount. We get to work with all sorts of experts in composites, electronics, you name it. So it's really been a benefit to us to actually be involved in this project and learn from it.
The University of Johannesburg's energy movement also hopes to inspire other students from any faculty to take a chance and build something new. I'm Boitumelo Pelesa for Joburg Today.
Hi, I'm Masura Meya and you are watching Joburg Today.
There are still mixed feelings about the South African police services in Johannesburg. We took to the streets of Johannesburg to find out how Joburgers feel.
We hit the streets of Johannesburg in efforts of finding out what it is that the public thinks of the South African police service.
For safety, they've really worked, but they need to improve on wandering. People must not be allowed to loiter anyhow. If they find people walking anyhow, they need to stop them, ask questions from them. What are they doing? Where are they coming from? Where are they going? Or what they are up to?
I'm at that point where we just get stuff done by ourselves. I can't really depend on them. That's how bad they are.
I think the South African police service is really bad. And I think it's mainly because the police themselves have so much corruption within themselves, and so we can't per se expect them to be the people that stop crime when they actually the people that actually also contribute.
I think the South African police service is actually okay, considering I haven't had any problems with the South African police service. Just yesterday I went to the police station and the service I got there was good, so I'm pretty much happy with the service.
I think the South African police service is poor, and then at the same time it is okay. I live in Soweto, so sometimes police take time to come and help, and then sometimes the community people take actions, and then the police come after, and then somehow they do deliver.
They don't provide a good service. I'm sorry to say that, but they don't, because I've been there so many times requesting for help, and even now my problem hasn't been solved.
I think the South African police service is very poor. They're letting us down, and I think it's this way because a lot of people that are in the service aren't committed to the cause, and they don't take our safety seriously.
I think it's like any other service in South Africa. They're still lacking. There's a lot of room for improvement.
I think the South African police need to improve on their time management because it's lacking. Probably if they improve that, things will be much better in South Africa.
The killing and the crime, they have to reduce, and they have to consider the fact that we all African, and let it make better to protect our own brothers and sisters.
My name is Nicholas. You are watching Joburg Today.
Remember, guys, to check out our special focus section. And if you want to know where Joburg is heading, check out Joburg Tomorrow. And that is it, guys, for today's episode. And we leave you with a beautiful song from Just Ginger. It's called Bright Lights.
Back in ETV.
You can only find the great white light when you're not looking. And you should only look when you're willing to see what's surrounding you, please. Come on, don't look away. It'll all come back to haunt you. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to believe in you. You can take control again. You can be the change, my friend. When you see through who you are, you can have it all. You can patiently, and you will see there is love in your heart. Come on, don't look away. It'll all come back to haunt you. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to believe in you. You can take control again. You can be the change, my friend. If you see through who you are, you can have it all. You can become whole again. You know that's what you need. You know that's what you want. You know that's what you are. You can take control again when you see through who you are.